Today I'm gonna try to go 266 miles per hour.
So you're running nitro for the first time?
First time. We might blow up an engine, but we're out here.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. Sorry for the wind. Behind me is pure white salt as far as the eye can see. There's some porta potties over here as well, but mostly pure white salt. That's definitely salt. That is a lot of salt. That is a lot of salt. That is exactly table salt. I am blown away.
There's about 147 million tons of salt spread out on the ground, 5 feet thick in some places. There's enough salt to appease all of Europe's consumption for at least a century. Or, you know, a single McDonald's French fry here in the USA.
The reason I'm here is because this is where some of the ground speed world record holders have raced their vehicles. The problem though is being this far away from civilization is electricity. When thousands of slightly unbalanced individuals gather together every year to see who can get their homemade go-karts going the fastest, you might think there would be chaos. And Speed Week is a wild event, don't get me wrong, but it's actually very well organized. Before we push SuperFastMatt off the starting line or scope out Jim Hoogerhide's highly modified Ultra Tesla, my team is making sure the Speed Week administrative trailers have the electricity they need to run the event here in Utah. Getting electricity this far away from civilization is a massive undertaking, but luckily I've brought a portable power grid on tank tracks that I can place wherever I want. It has more battery capacity than a Tesla and can run perpetually off of solar, no fuel required. It's called the Komodo Power Tank and is probably the slowest vehicle here on the Salt, while still being the most powerful, if you know what I mean. And it's awesome of Komodo to help sponsor cool people doing cool stuff, and of course this video.
All the racers are arriving soon, so wish us luck.
Nice.
It frequently exceeds 100 degrees Fahrenheit here in the summertime, so having air conditioning for the volunteers who work in the trailers is pretty important. And the 14 kilowatts worth of solar panels should be able to handle everything we throw at it. It might be called Speed Week, but personally I much rather prefer the slow and steady pace of the Komodo. We built the frame for the solar at my wheelchair factory last week. And just like all the racers, this is the first time everything is coming together. Just crossing our fingers it all works.
Going out here, we have like 11% battery left. Luckily there is an onboard charger with the battery. We are way out in the middle of nowhere. Grabbing this. It is an actual EV charging plug. So once we get the solar array, we should be able to charge up the battery. But until then, we're still juicing up the Rivian.
The Komodo power tank has nearly 100 kilowatt hours worth of juice inside, more than a Tesla Model Y, and can output 15 kilowatts continuously.
Before we build the whole array, we're making sure that the trailers can even get power. All right, she's turning on the ACs right now.
There's there's 1200 watts, 900 watts.
That was one of them. So 1/5 of what we can pull.
That's nothing.
So we could very easily power all 3 RVs.
Power 10 ACs.
Yeah, we can power a ton of stuff. Holy smokes. The quick math is that we can power 5 of these trailers if we needed to.
Really?
Yeah.
Normally this is used on construction sites, off-grid cabins, or disaster areas, but I think it'll fit right in here at the Salt Flats as well.
What are you doing here, Riley?
Oh, just grilling. Grill master with our cardboard spatulas.
You forgot spatulas?
Dude, food's more important than spatulas.
It's working good though. Check that out. Outlets, burgers, buns.
The 14 kilowatts worth of solar should keep the battery charged up and the 3 administrative trailers with their 6 air conditioners up and running perpetually, with no need for refueling during the 10 days people are out here.
The last solar panel is going into place. It's really cool how the light from the sun comes through the solar panels. Adds some nice ambiance. Oh yeah, and the signs look good too. You wanna come put some weight on the front side? Oh, you got it. Second array is done. We are gonna flip the breaker.
There's also a baby power tank, because why not? It has a slightly more palatable price tag of $3,600. It outputs 3 kilowatts through 6 GFCI outlets. And of course, it's still mounted on some all-terrain tracks, because why not? Everything else out here is insane. We might as well have an insane tank track power bank as well. Use code JerryRig35 for a whopping 35% discount off the big Komodo. That's like $12,000. Or use code JerryRig75 for 7.5% off everything else on BatteryEvo.com. Far too generous. Link is down in the description while supplies last. Ground speed racing is a crazy sport for crazy people, which brings me to my buddy SuperFastMatt. He's going for a world record in the motorcycle engine division and needs to hit 266 miles an hour in his DIY contraption that he built in his garage. You know, normal human behavior.
So Matt, what are you trying to accomplish today here on the Salt Flats?
Today I'm gonna try to go 266 miles per hour, averaged over a mile. That's the record for this class. There are hundreds of classes out here. I chose this one because I like the Streamliner. It's very fast, and I chose the smaller engine because it's a fun challenge.
So for someone who's never done this before, obviously this kind of racing looks different from the starting line. So how do they calculate how fast your score, your record actually is?
Okay, so there's 5 miles. There's you start at mile 0, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have timing lights at every mile. You know, say you're going 200 at the beginning of mile 3 and you're going 250 at the end of mile 3, your average speed will be 225 there. That counts as your average speed. If that's faster than the record, then the next morning you come back and you do the same thing again, prove that you can do it, and then they average the 2 speeds of those averages, and then hopefully you get a record.
That sounds complicated. And what is your probability or possibility of actually making that record? What do you think?
Well, we had some engine damage coming into this week, and it's feeling a little down on power, so I'm not super optimistic about it, but we did add nitrous, and we haven't used the nitrous yet, so we're gonna give it the beans and see what happens.
And if someone wanted to come here and drive your car right now, how would they do it? And is the screwdriver in the dashboard important?
Well, you have to qualify, so you have to do a rookie run. They're very careful out here. You have to do a rookie run, you have to prove that you can do it, and then you have to license up. So you have to go below 100, then below 150, and then below 175.
Okay.
So I did all my licensing runs yesterday and some last year, the last time I was here. As for the screwdriver, that is in case I get to the end of the road and something's wrong, something's on fire, I need to get the engine cover off to help the people with the fire extinguishers. I can pop that off and take care of it before my chase truck gets there.
So wait, when the hood is latched down, you can still get out,
Yes,
right?
yes, you have to be, by rule, you have to be able to get out yourself.
Is this how it's gonna look when we're moving?
I won't be quite this upright.
So getting to the starting line, we have the trailer for transport, obviously, and then you have a handlebar down there?
That's right, motorcycle controls.
And when you're actually driving on the flats, is this high off the ground the whole time?
Yep. Can you move that cone?
You can't make the turning radius? It looks awesome. And so you get them going to 300 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
Basically what we're doing right now, everyone is in a super long line because everyone goes one at a time. And as we're getting closer to the starting line, Matt is doing a bunch of little adjustments. So tell us how this all works.
So this is a Streamliner. This is the fastest class of land speed racing. I have a 1-liter motorcycle engine, so it's a relatively small engine for this class, relatively small for land speed racing. I'm running in the fuel class, which means I can run nitrous oxide. I have not run it yet.
So you're running nitro for the first time?
First time.
Cool.
Have not run it yet. We tried it on the dyno. Everything worked on the dyno. We haven't tried it in real life. As you can see, it's about 22 feet long. It's only about 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide. So aerodynamically, when you're looking at it from the front, you want it to be as small as possible. So everything is crammed in a line. It's about, the total width is my shoulders plus the roll cage, very tight. We got Goodyear land speed racing tires front and back. They were good to 300 miles per hour. We're hoping to go a little bit under that, but close.
You can just buy those tires off the shelf somewhere?
Yeah, they're kind of expensive. They're almost 800 bucks a piece. Those by themselves are the most expensive part for me for this car.
Am I allowed to ask how much you spent on the car as a whole, or is your wife going to watch this video?
Well, I'm not married, so I can spend as much as I want.
All right, done.
I don't actually keep track. I hate keeping track of this stuff. I try to be like frugal about it, but I don't keep track. If I had to guess, 20 to 25 grand probably. Woo! Which I think is not bad for a total custom car build, you know?
Yeah, that's legit.
By requirement, this roll cage is very tough. We've got 2 giant fire tanks in the back, fire extinguisher tanks in the back here. One for me, one for the engine compartment.
So if you pull this lever right here, I'm not going to pull it.
Yeah. That's for the engine. That's 3 nozzles in the engine and 1 for me. This is 3 nozzles for me and 1 for the engine. So if I'm really on fire, they both get pulled. 2 parachutes, 2 separate parachutes, one there, one there.
And then the parachutes, where are those at? Are those back here?
Tucked tight back here. So you got exhaust, push roller, so the car needs to get pushed up to speed. It's geared so high. We need to push it with the van up to about 45 before it'll even start to get going. So we got parachute 1 and 2.
And you deploy both parachutes every time?
Just 1. So in my class, I'm only required to have one. Just for safety, I have two. I'm using an iPhone for my speedometer just because it's very large. And then smaller gauge for RPM, coolant temperature. And then I got, of course, the Insta360 for the good video.
Nice. And then you have another Insta360, not sponsored at the moment, but this is
back here for the tail. So this gets a great shot forward and back. It's covered in stickers. I asked all my subscribers, everybody who watches the channel, to send in stickers. I got over 1,000. So we sticker bombed the whole thing, or the whole back thing. And then we got the hot rod flames kind of fading into it. Kind of a cool look.
If you are not subscribed to SuperFastMatt, I will leave a link for him down in the video description. Do that now before he does his first run. Got your fire suit on?
Not very comfortable, but it'll probably be great when I'm on fire.
How warm is it? Black suit?
Yeah, in the sun. It's very warm. Very too much warm. Next time I'll buy a white one.
So what goes through your head as you plan to hit 200 plus miles an hour?
Yeah, I always get nervous when I'm in line, but as soon as I start going, I'm focused on the run and I feel great. But I'm always nervous in line. It's like, what did I forget? What could go wrong?
As Matt nestles down into his cozy car cocoon, locking in for his run, both mentally and physically.
And what is that for?
Communications, so I can talk to the pit crew.
Dang, man, you are in there.
Because the engine is geared for super high speeds, the low end torque is basically non-existent. This means we get to push him off the starting line so he can take full advantage of the next 5 miles.
Fire pins are out, parachute pins are out.
He'll need the whole track to try to break that land speed record in his division. Thanks to brine extraction and mining, the salt flats have kinda disappeared by about 1/3 over the last 60 years. So it's cool to be here and experience it firsthand while we still can. And there he goes.
So Matt, we pushed him for a while. This is my first time being on the course, but we pushed him for a while just to get that like initial, because he's geared for high speed and not initial torque off the starting line. So he disappeared and finished his race a long time ago. What's the course, 5 miles?
Yeah, so he was under power up till 5 miles.
Matt did 5 miles in a ridiculously short amount of time, and we are still driving to go pick him up.
We'll get there. And if you want to hop out, and I'll go drive the truck around.
How was it?
That was a blast. That was it. That was full beans. That's all it's got. It's this weird mix of terrifying and exhilarating. It's kind of bouncing around, sliding around. You're like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but it's a fun idea.
Was it as squirrely as the last time you were running?
I was a little more squirrely, actually. I think it was like, they said this run was a little marbly, but also I was going faster and I had more power, so that might have been it too.
They have like this I-beam thing that they drag along the surface to kind of smooth it out. But if you look out into the distance, you can see like all the ripples from like the previous, like this place is an alien world. But you can see all the ripples from like all the old water and stuff that was here each time it rains. It's like a mirror that totally reflects the sky and the clouds. Last time you were here, it was almost rained out.
Yeah, it was basically a lake. It was really bad.
Yeah, so we have 2 lifting points. We screw these rings into.
Do you think you have enough nitrous to hit the record, make the record?
I have enough nitrous to do it. I don't know if the engine will handle the amount of nitrous I have. I definitely have enough. I'll have to look at the data. If we're close, because my dash said 244. If we're at 244 and it takes 50 more horsepower to get to 266 to break the record, we'll try it. We might blow up an engine, but we're out here.
That's intense.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first person, even today, to blow up an engine on this course, so, you know.
We are pushing limits, so.
Yeah. 240, 241 basically.
Dang, man. That's so freaking fast.
You can see my exit speed is a little bit slower. The exit speed is like basically your instantaneous speed at the end of mile 5.
Yeah.
And then mile 5 is the average. So I did slow down 2 miles per hour.
At the high end of the spectrum, does it get harder?
Well,
every mile an hour that you want to hit?
Aerodynamic drag is exponential. So the difference between 240 and 266 is more than the difference between 200 and 240.
Number's still high though.
Yeah, we still got tricks up our sleeve.
While SuperFast Matt preps his vehicle with NOS for the next run, one of the coolest cars I saw this year is one built out of old Tesla parts and is completely electric.
All right, Jim, what have you done to this Tesla?
Oh boy, what all? That's a pretty broad question, my friend.
So you started off with a Tesla motor in the back, right? Because I've never seen a Tesla look quite this long before.
This car originally ran with motorcycle engines, and the motorcycle engine sat where the battery pack is. It's done a whole variety of motors over the years, from V4 Hondas to blown Hayabusas. Drove an electric Lakester with EV West, and that turned into them converting this to electric.
And how fast have you gotten this car before?
We got this car last year, we went 312.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that the fastest Tesla motored electric car that you know of, or?
No. Single engine, yes.
But you're still feeding, so the Tesla motor back here, you're still feeding it 400 volts.
Yes.
Here, so these hard lines are the fire suppression system, which we'll see in a second. Tell me about these cut here stickers.
The cut here stickers are here for the rescue crew. If there's an incident, since it's electric, they don't know, hey, does he have lines running through here? Where's all the voltage? There aren't a lot of these running.
Because yeah, pretty much all of the cars here on the course, would you say they're company sponsored or more people like just hobbyists doing DIY projects? So every car is going to be extremely different, and it's nice to have instructions when the safety crew comes. Speaking of room, by the way, we'll get to the front tires in a second, but so here is your steering wheel
Device.
and I see you have a chain here with sprockets on it. So
Yeah, it's 2 sprockets and my handlebars. I'm a motorcycle guy first, and that's how we turn the wheels.
Oh, crank that again. So crank it all the way right here for a second. So crank it the other way. So that's your full range of motion, and this is how much the tires turn. What would you say your turning radius is on this thing?
100 yards, 150 yards.
So it takes a football field to turn a circle.
To make a U-turn, yeah.
That's funny, which is why, of course, we have the trailer, which lifts it up off the ground, and that's pretty
Absolutely, and we have large turnouts out on the course. A lot of the cars don't have a lot of steering radius.
And then what's interesting, so this is the fire suppression system. One goes to the driver, and then the other one goes to the motor and the inverter.
Well, we'll just call it engine bay, I guess.
Compartment, right on. It was interesting to hear you say that this reservoir, like you fill it with a bunch of ice cubes, which is just pure water, not a coolant.
Correct.
But you're saying none of that coolant goes to the battery pack.
No. Our battery does not get hot at this point.
And on the back you have racing tires, which are rubber, right? And then what
Yes,
are
sir.
these?
These are aluminum. There are no tires for land speed racing this small, and absolutely not rated for 350 miles an hour.
Yeah,
So,
solid aluminum tires.
yep.
You also have an air freshener,
Yes.
just in case.
Find one in every car. Yeah, this is where the brains live.
And you have a kill switch, electrical disconnect
That's
on
a
the
kill
back.
switch.
And then the
for
parachute, right? You have 2 parachutes?
2 parachutes. Yeah, this one hasn't been packed yet. So this is for, crew or rescue to, when they approach the vehicle, they can turn off all the high voltage.
This is for if you want to play croquet while you're just driving 300 miles an
It's
hour.
when the driver needs an attitude adjustment. The crew generally picks this up and
Gotcha.
talks to me. No, Mark made this for packing the parachutes.
Do you ever find that the salt affects any of the electrical systems?
Not anymore. We've figured it out by now. We seal up everything really, really, really good ahead of time.
Because yeah, this is the shell for it, so the shell is going to rest on top of the car.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to see what your top speed is or see this race, where can they find you guys?
They could find us every speed week at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
You do the internet?
We do a little YouTubing, sorta. I know you can't remember what it's called. I think it's just called Jim
Shoot.
Hoogerhide.
All right, Jim Hoogerhide.
So the first time around, we were catching air under here, and it was bowing the back of the tail down and dragging it on the ground. It actually cut out a hole about that big from the bottom of the body, and we fixed it with duct tape. We put a whole bunch of duct tape, which works for 2/3 of a run, but not the whole run. So we had to find something rigid.
And wait, pause there for a second, because I don't think people comprehend how big of a deal air resistance is when you're going 200 miles an hour. So maybe we start there.
Sure, I mean, put your hand out the window at 65 when you're driving down the highway and feel that, and then multiply that by a lot. It's exponential. The drag is significantly more. So we're talking a lot of force that was pushing the fiberglass down into the salt, and the salt was acting like sandpaper, and it just obliterated it. So we tried duct tape, obliterated that. So we had to find some metal, and what we had is a cabinet in the van, old cabinet we had. So we just cut the bottom out, pop riveted it in, put some extra duct tape over it for good measure, and we're gonna go see if it works.
So if you're able to beat, are you gonna try for the record this time?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're able to beat 266 miles an hour, it'll be all thanks to this metal
This old
drawer.
cabinet, yeah.
Perfect. Fastest cabinet this side of the Mississippi.
It might be.
I'm not able to stay for the next race, but if you want to see if Matt crushes the world record, see what happens on his channel. That's a wrap on Speed Week. This power tank is mine, but if you want one for your own off-grid emergency power needs, I'll leave a link for the Komodo down in the video description. And thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.